Thank you for tuning in on our podcast, Módulo Músicos Unidos. You would find us as you spell it MODULOMUNI and then the number 2. We're available on all of your favorite podcast platform. My name is Max, founder of MMP Global Music. You can visit our website, mmpglobalmusic.com. All of the information is available in Spanish and also in English. Okay, be sure also to see our affiliated partner, which is Soundtrack Your Brand. It's specifically for background music for your business. So if you're a business owner and you do operate a bar, barbershop, anything, small offices, you have legal licensed music for your business, you can easily sign up at a very affordable price. You can also try for 30 days as well. Okay, that's an option with no commitment. Okay, and you can create your playlist. It works kind of like Spotify, specifically made with Soundtrack. Okay, Soundtrack, you have other features, you have longer tracks, different variety of music and filters. Please feel free to visit the website for more information. All right, so in this episode we're going to talk about a few things in current situations right now for a couple of artists. Okay, there was an article that was published here on Billboard. Okay, this was published by Jason Lipschutz. This is the situation going on with R. Kelly. Right now, if we look at it from a perspective of the music business, content is under pressure. Okay, that's really what the focus is with R. Kelly's situation. So now that Sony has parted ways with R. Kelly, music executives are thinking about how to handle allegations against artists. Okay, so it puts a lot to wonder what will happen next. So on January 18th, Sony cut ties with R. Kelly. So there was a lot of reaction. We have one of the reactions from Shauna Thomas. Shauna Thomas, 37-year-old co-founder of women's advocacy group Ultraviolet, spent years pushing the label to drop the R&B star over the many allegations of sexual misconduct against him. After the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly aired, Ultraviolet paid for a plane to fly over Sony's Culver City building in Los Angeles, trailing a banner that read RCA/Sony dropped sexual predator R. Kelly, and helped coordinate protest outside Sony's Manhattan office on January 16th. So this is something that really took place, and it did not look good for the artist, and it did not look good for the labels. Okay, that is the RCA and Sony. So 2 days later, the label and R. Kelly agreed to split. Okay, so this is, quote, "There is a tipping point moment where it becomes undeniable," says Thomas, "where you can't find enough flaws in all of the survivors' stories to deny there's something really problematic going on," end quote. So labels executives say that they aren't likely to change their signing decisions because of the increased scrutiny of artists' personal conduct, but they are scrambling to rethink how to manage the new flood of media attention and online activism when it affects acts on their roster, deservedly or not. Some tell Billboard they might take a more proactive approach that would stop short of dropping the artist, which is a dangerous precedent. According to one of the top label executive, even R. Kelly wasn't dropped. He agreed to leave the exchange for the rights to his unreleased music that he had recorded under the contract at RCA. Still, every label is going to take a long, hard look at their roster after this, says one of the industry source. So this is, quote, "Everybody's going to have to look at a certain allegations against people they worked with and signed and feel a new type of moral obligation," end quote. So another label executive says the Kelly's decision doesn't have much precedent and that, quote, "we are all kind of feeling our way through the dark," end quote. All right, on how to react to such situation. So the problem, as one music entertainment lawyer weirdly puts it, is, and we'll do the quote, "the music industry has a high pain threshold for bad behavior," end quote. Rule breaking has always been part of rock and roll, and some of music's most iconic acts, from Michael Jackson, Dr. Dre, Led Zeppelin, have had serious accusations, of course, of misconduct leveled against them during their careers. And while times have changed, recent explosive success of controversial artists like 69, which recently went into jail from some allegations, and also the late Triple X Temptation. And that just tells you that criminal allegations don't always hurt the bottom line. So quote, "You tolerate bad behavior because some of it brings a lot of attention to brands," says the lawyer, "and labels are not going to do anything until they have to." Meanwhile, the Kelly controversy has motivated artists who have worked with him to take a step of removing collaborations from digital music services. So we have, on January 9th, Lady Gaga issued an apology from duetting with Kelly on her 2013 single, "What Do You Want?" And the song was removed from the internet less than 24 hours later. Artists like Chance, the rapper, and Phoenix also have publicly apologized for working with Kelly. So this is, of course, not going well for Kelly. All right, so bottom line here is that the future of taking down music from streaming services will ultimately depend on whether the motivation to do so is deemed valid enough by an artist and in his or her inner circle. Noting that Universal Music Publishing Group has, quietly dropped R. Kelly from its songwriter roster, months before the label, Sony and RCA, ended its recording contract. The catalog was obtained in 2007. All right, Kelly has approximately 681 songs registered with BMI. Okay, it's many hits, but again, it's crazy to see, labels and other partners just dropping your music, okay, from all platforms and even publishing agreements. So thank you for tuning in on our podcast. Okay, if you have any questions, feedbacks, feel free to leave the message. We'll be more than happy to read and reply back. Once again, thank you for tuning in.